Right now, you can hear me? Huh, fucking A. Because the only people that can hear me is you guys. I don't think because we're not added to the stream yet. I think they can hear us. If I can get my mouse to work here. Oh, shit, there's me. There's you. There's you.
Oh.
Good morning. I mean, evening.
Hey.
How's it going, guys?
Good. Going good.
What's going on? Hello, Christine. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Stock.
Stalker kid.
I guess people could hear us all along. Well, just me, because I'm the only Nimrod that didn't have my microphone muted.
Was your coffee good?
It's spectacular.
We can hear you sipping and gulping.
You know what it is? I'm just sitting here making dad noises.
Oh my God, you make me think of Peter Griffin from Family Guy.
It's funny because Melissa and I were talking about like tattoos and shit. So I said, I was gonna get Peter, and I said, why don't you get Lois?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Peter.
Peter, I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
This Kwanzaa hut is expensive, Peter.
I love Family Guy, man. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite shows of all time.
I know we watch it religiously ourselves.
So, of course, Laura in the room goes, giggity. But then there's poor old Joe, you know. Hey, Peter, can I borrow your screwdriver? Can anybody do Stewie? I can't do Stewie.
Come on, Dan. You know you can do it.
Try it.
Who's the one that you always do? Not from there. It's not from Family Guy. Oh, he does the old lady from Clark Griswold. From National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. He does it perfect.
Are you talking about the dead one that's on top of the Griswold
no.
The old
animal
lady,
wagon?
Aunt, was it Aunt? I forget. I don't remember her name. Oh my God,
The whiny one.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. It was the aunt that's like 92 years old.
Oh, the one that's in the car with them?
The one whose dog they dragged, right?
Oh God, you guys are talking about the other shows. I'm talking about Christmas Vacation.
Nope. I got nothing.
All right. Well, I know the show that we're gonna have to all get together and watch during the summertime, which is gonna be really weird for a Christmas show.
That'd be great.
My husband does Herbert the Pervert too well. It's scary. It's very unsettling.
Hey, Daniel, your microphone sounds a little hollowy and echoey. Do you have the right one selected?
Let me see.
Well, if it's going off of that computer.
No.
Let's see. David says Aunt Edna. That's it.
Aunt Edna, that's it.
That's it.
Nice.
Let me see what I can do.
All right.
Is this microphone any better?
Yeah, microphone. What? Try it again.
This microphone any better?
A little bit better, yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, now let's say hello to. Are you there, Angie?
Lois, are you still dating Clark?
Oh, you did it.
You did it.
Maybe you should go into the living room, say hello, everybody. Okay, I'm gonna go to the living room, say hi, say hello, everybody.
So our afternoon host Angie is there as well, but I don't think she has her camera turned on or anything. So, she's trying to come on again. Hold on.
Oh, that's right. Who is it?
Where
Mom,
are you? Where are you, Angie?
That's Stewie. That's right.
There you are. Angie, are you there? You look like the pilot from Airplane.
I think she's frozen.
I think she's actually in the stream twice right now.
there she is.
She's still frozen.
Yeah, she is.
That was
Look.
a nice smile, at least.
Yeah,
That works.
Okay, there we go.
Are you there, Angela? Nope.
I
That's a
am
beautiful
here,
ceiling.
I think.
Yeah, it's a beautiful ceiling. Oh, there you are. You're a little better now.
Sounds like air traffic control.
Yeah. Are you still there,
I
Angela?
can't bear. Everybody's going like this.
People have logged on and said, screw this. We're the fuck out of here because they were supposed to they're starting to talk about ghosts, but they're talking about Family Guy.
Lois, one day I would kill you.
Lois. Lois, I talked to a hooker the other day and she told me, I said, what's it like having sex? And she goes, I don't know. It's bad. He goes, oh, is it like throwing a hot dog down a hallway?
Oh my God.
We're gonna just do impressions for the next 2 hours.
Oh, goodness. So anyway, welcome to SNSN Dark Radio or Radio Dark. We don't know what the frick we're going to call this yet, but it is episode 3. It is episode number 3. It is not episode number 2. I was corrected in the group, and Laura was right. Said episode 2. I thought you already had 2 episodes. You are absolutely correct. So here we are. Angela, my lovely co-host. Hello. Angela, my
I
lovely
think I'm okay now.
There we go.
It's like
This is horrible.
what? We're joined by Christine and Daniel and Kimberly from the Connecticut Paranormal Research Team. Guys, thanks for joining us here tonight. Can I do one? Can I do one more impression before we go?
Go for it.
Ready? Golly!
And there comes the copyright.
Does anybody even know? Does anybody even know who that was?
I don't know. I immediately think of Mickey.
That's it.
Oh, good.
And then we did a story today about mooses. How they're out and about right now.
Yep.
And you got the Connecticut Department of Environmental Protection put out a bunch of warnings to watch out, not for just deer, but also for moose. All I could think of was Bullwinkle. Lucky.
Oh, I used to love that show.
I did too on Sunday morning.
Yep.
What's that show?
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
I love Natasha and Boris.
Natasha y Boris. Don't tell me nothing. All right. So
Angela just got something.
yeah, I don't know. Angela, she didn't pay her internet bill, I think, and there she goes. Angela just she's like Helen Keller. She just kind of runs around and stops,
Oh, it's Tweety Bird.
Oh, wait, where the hell is? What is that?
I don't know what
The lamp.
She
Looks
got
like a
sucked
apple.
into the dark.
Ooh, dark.
There
I
we go.
see what you guys are doing here.
Oh,
Now we're gonna wait and see if an apparition appears.
she tricked us all. Oh, there you are.
Hey, she's back.
I taught a putty tat. All right, so hi guys, how are you? Thanks for joining us tonight.
We're doing good. Busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But good. Glad we can get together. We actually just did a show last night, and you contacted us today and was like, "Hey, you want to do another show?" Yeah, sure. Everything's still
Yeah,
set
why
up.
not? It was just
Yeah, so we got our spinning bulbs on.
She just
right now.
ghosted us.
So what about you, Kimberly? Did you do a show last night too, or?
I did not. I watched Family Guy.
I think we did too, actually. Laura just put Angie ghosted us. Whoa! All right, so we had the honor of, I did, and Melissa and I did. We had the honor of going with you guys to Connecticut to Captain Grant's Inn in Pawcatonic, which is a part of Preston on Route. It's 2A, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, where that was bye Ange. That was kind of creepy that night, but it was so much fun. What was the? I mean, give us a synopsis or what the event was really all about.
Just, I think, honestly, getting friends together and having a good time.
Yeah, that's what it ended up being. Yeah.
What ended up happening is that originally we have a really close-knit group of people that we've come together throughout the years. And what we decided to do is during COVID and towards the end is we started getting together and started renting out these locations so that we all can get together, have a good time. And we didn't have to worry about being, in large groups of people and everything like that with COVID going on. So we always stayed very close-knit. So what ended up happening is that we tried to do roughly every other month, try to get together at a location. So what we ended up doing is we got together at Captain Grant's. And while we were planning all this and everything like that, and Kim was awesome enough to get the ball rolling on that, what we decided to do was get everybody together. And when we got everybody together, we said, hey, you know what? Let's do a broadcast with a live investigation. with everybody there, and somehow Mike got to join us.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and I got so much feedback, positive feedback, after the show and even during the show. Alicia's comments on the board said it was a good live show. I had people in town telling me that they put it up on their big screen TV, and they just left it on all night.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was really, really cool. Linda says the scariest thing was the spider on the gravestone.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
That was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Kurt from Oklahoma says it was a great show.
Oh, from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Nice. What was nice too is like on the next day, granted we didn't have that much sleep, maybe 2 or 3 hours at the most. But actually listening to you guys do the interview with Carol.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still waiting to see that actual video of that.
Yeah, it's been done. I just haven't done anything with it yet.
Yeah, but she was able to clarify so many things that
happened.
We've investigated there. This is our third, if not fourth time investigating there.
Right.
And I hadn't known some of the things that she said, and it totally made sense to the evidence that we've gathered over the years.
Right in the beginning of our broadcast, and we had a camera malfunction, of course. Where it was Christine, Kim, John, and what was it, Melissa? I think it was.
Yeah, she was. Yep, she was in the dining room with us.
And they were in the dining room, and they started hearing solid knocks, like someone's knocking on the door. And then Carol, the next day, while we were interviewing her, tells us the first thing they started hearing when they started getting all this activity was somebody pounding on the front door. And when they went there, no one was there.
Right.
Where they were hearing the sound, it was somewhere in the kitchen.
Right.
Kim, what was your creepiest part of the night?
That spider on the headstone.
Yeah.
I love my husband, but I could have smacked him and Dan for that.
Well, we had an accomplice. You guys got to see this headstone. Look how old it is. Yeah, get right up on it.
We didn't.
It was a good night. I mean, it was my first time going to Captain Grant's. I mean, we had stayed. We had done a birthday party for Christine a few years back, and we had stayed at one of the other buildings down the road that they call the Stagecoach. Unfortunately, that time I was under the weather, so I didn't get to experience anything while everyone else did. So this was a real treat for me, especially to be able to go into the main building. But it was neat. Like right off the bat, like Christine, Dan, myself, my husband, and another couple from New Hampshire had come down. I had gone in with Carolyn to go ahead and settle up and just kind of get the ball rolling. We walked in the house. There was no one else in there. And already there's knocks and everything happening. Like we're standing in the kitchen and we're hearing it like in the dining room and the living room area. So right off the bat, we were having activity. And I have to say I was really proud of my husband because this was his first time really doing an investigation. And when we heard the knocking on the door, I sent him in there to go check to see if anyone
Send the child.
So he did really good. I mean, I think Melissa did wonderful. You know, it was a really great night with a group of great people, and we are so happy that the two of you were able to join us that night, Mike.
Yeah. Mike.
Oh, it was great, and I think
fun.
The creepiest thing for me in the whole show or the whole evening was Dan and I were setting up, and we were just about ready. I think we had just gone live. And then all the lights went out. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I said, why? I mean, ghost to ghost. Why do you got to have the lights out? I you know, and then then you heard something, Dan, and you got up and you left the area. So there I am sitting in the upstairs by myself with nothing but the light from a couple of monitors. I can't see the monitors, and all I hear is, and I'm like, this shit just got real. So So I'm sitting there and I'm literally wigging myself out. And well, Dan came back and held my hand, and I was okay. Melissa loved it. She thought it was fun. The one thing that she was upset about the whole thing, she goes, what happened? We didn't do the whole wife swap thing. So I told her, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, honey, but
no, it was an absolute blast having you guys, and we're glad that you guys were able to jump on board so quick, and it was what I messaged you, and you were just like, yeah. We're there. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we're there. Okay. Yep. Just let us know. All right.
It was fun.
How
It was a lot of fun.
when you actually do come to New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right. You thought Captain Grants was in New Hampshire originally.
I did. I really did. I just figured that after this one, and then you guys did this one. Did something this past weekend, and you didn't call us. I figured, well, they're done with us.
Yeah,
We're done.
yeah, this one that we just did was a residential case, and at the moment, she wants everything 100% confidential. So we kind of have to keep it. I mean, she's possibly thinking about releasing some of the information. We just have to keep the location and stuff at this time like undisclosed. But it is funny though, because of the fact that she was so okay with it, and relieved, because we told her, it wasn't anything negative that was there, but she did not want to see the evidence because she was going to be there all by herself that night. And as we are all outside getting ready to leave her house,
she comes walking out with her keys.
Yeah, she shuts all the lights off. I'm like, oh, good. I'm glad she can actually go to bed. No, I turn around. She's standing behind me, getting in her car. And I'm like, where are you going at? It's 1:00 in the morning. She's like, I am not staying in this house. She peeled out of that driveway so fast.
There was smoke in the driveway.
Kurt wants to know, and any of you can answer this. What is the craziest experience you have had?
I'll go first.
Yep,
Because the first one that comes to mind is Hinsdale. The Hinsdale house.
Oh, that experience. Yes.
Yeah, it was again, this was like my first time. Like Christine and Dan had been up there a couple times. We again had gone up with our friends Spirit Chasers from New Hampshire. They're the group that you met when we went to Captain Grant's. And this house was just amazing. It's got like an amazing history. There was an exorcism that happened, I think, back in the 70s, right, Christine?
Yep, 1973, I believe.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of activity in the house, a lot of activity out in the woods. I tend to have more of a connection with kids, and that's actually what I do for my work as well. I work with children. As I was sitting there, they had a Connect system set up. It's like what you see on like on those other ghost hunting shows where you have the Connect system and you can see like the skeleton behind. And so they had actually seen like a childlike figure behind me on a chair that was kind of kitty corner to me. That figure had come down, disappeared, and while I was sitting there, I felt two like cold areas just come around my waist and hug me like a child had come up behind me from behind. I've had experiences since I was a kid, seeing things, feeling that things were there and hearing things. I've never been touched before. And that really, I can't say it scared me, but it was definitely an experience that really kind of shook me up.
Daniel, Christine, how about you?
I think yours is from the Shanley.
Shanley. Yeah.
When you saw little girls.
So this whole rabbit hole started for me when I first went to the Shanley Hotel in Napanoch, New York, and that was and that was
that wasn't the ghost. That was Dan.
Still to this day, I still owe that hotel bed sheets. So what ended up happening was is that I started to become just part of the hotel. Part of the furniture. I was there constantly, almost religiously every weekend, and I got to meet a wonderful man by name of Sal Nicosa. He was the current owner of the hotel, and I was there one night, and I think it was the weekend of your birthday. And
no.
Was it the weekend?
It was after, because it was a night where I couldn't be there to help the guest. So you went by yourself, and I was at a convention in New Jersey.
Oh, yes.
And I was screaming at you at the hotel room to get his fanny back in that room.
Oh, no, that one, actually, now that I think about it, yes, that night was terrifying. What ended up happening that night was I ended up, like Christine said, being the only guest in the hotel. And I decided that, they put me up in one of the rooms in the main building, and they basically said, you have free reign of the entire hotel, do what you want. Just make sure if you leave, lock the door, come back in, lock the door. And so I was like, oh, okay, I've investigated here. I've helped the guests, no big deal. Everything. Yeah, okay. I did not anticipate that I was going to be screwed with. What ended up happening was that I went into the far part of the hotel, known as the Bordello, and it's across the building, up a skinny flight of stairs, in a very you're alone area of the hotel. And I started doing a EVP session, and what ended up happening is that
why don't you describe it? What an EVP session is?
It's a electronic voice phenomenon. Basically, what I'm doing is I have a recorder with me, and I'm just asking questions to see if any spirits or voices will be imprinted on my recorder when I listen back to it. And what ended up happening is that I said, I just remember it like it was yesterday. I remember saying, "Are you guys here?" And when I said that, I heard the doorknob to the stairwell. All right, now take it. There's only one way out. It's down that stairwell and past that door. I heard the doorknob to the stairwell actually open. All right, the door opened up and then slammed. Now, at first thought, I was like, holy crap. Sal finally got me. I'm absolutely terrified. Turns out my fight or flight kicked in. And the first thing I thought was, if Sal is playing a joke on me, then I'm going to catch him. Now, if anybody knew Sal was not the fastest person. He mostly shuffled more than walked.
Heavy smoker.
And I knew that I would beat him to the punch and beat him to his apartment. So I went flying down the stairs. I went shooting through the main galley, up the stairs, to hear nothing but Sal and his girlfriend out cold, snoring like freight trains.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that for a minute.
So,
it is night. We can
So yeah, my scariest thing was at the Shanley Hotel when I asked, "Are you guys here?" And I heard the doorknob click open. The door actually opened the whole, and then slam, and there was no one there. And take it, I was like, did that really happen? And of course, the first thing I do is, I get on my iPad. That just happened. This is what went on. And of course, the first 3 people to message back are the other people, including Christine and 2 other people to help out the hotel. And they're like, get your ass back up there. And I'm like, I don't want to go.
Now, Christine, you add a different layer to everything, being intuitive and having psychic abilities and stuff. Now, did you what was it like for you at Captain Grant's? I mean, did anything did you pick up anything that other people did not?
I don't think so. Like I still kept connecting with the young girl that's there and could see her clearly, but it was almost like she was afraid to come out. That's kind of like how I was getting, is she just was like hiding and didn't want to come out. And I don't know if it was because of all the people that were there, because usually she would interact with guests when everybody's in bed in the middle of the night, and you'd hear her like bare feet running up and down the hallway and playing with toys and that are left out in the hallway.
The last time we were there, we were actually with a online news crew, and we actually captured what sounds like a little girl in the hallway. And we didn't capture it
giggling or something.
Yeah, we didn't capture it on our live feed. We were doing another live broadcast, and we didn't capture it on the live feed. We were in one of the rooms, and we didn't hear it in there. And the camera in the hallway captured it, and the two ladies from the news crew actually heard it in the hallway. So during the broadcast, if you were looking in the background where the two ladies were, you would see them like looking at each other going, "What was that?" And that was a key, that when people saw it on the stream, they were like, "What's up with the two of them?" And that's when we went back and we actually heard in the hallway, when we listened to the audio in the hallway, the little girl.
Is it more eerie when you hear children more so than adults?
That's a good question. I'm kind of on the fence.
I think it's more emotional when you hear a child come through, because it's like they're alone and they're looking for their parents, and they don't understand how come the whole family's not there.
Okay.
So to me, it's more emotional hearing the kids come through.
I mean, I'm kind of with the whole on the fence with, I mean, if a kid's laughter, if you hear that with your ears and you're in a dark room anywhere, that's going to send chills down your spine.
That is kind of creepy.
But like, it's not like the movies, but when you're in that moment and you're in the dark and you're asking questions, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to hear it with your ears. You don't know if it's going to be imprinted with the recorder, or you just don't know what's going to happen. That next question could lead into something, I would say the most terrifying moment of your life, Well,
even when we did Cedar Crest Hospital, we were in the child's wing, in the psychiatric section of the hospital, and the lights are set on motion.
That was so cool.
And we actually, like 5 rooms down, a light would turn on in one of the patient's rooms. And then we would go in there, and it was little kids' murals on the walls. And of course, Raggedy would start going off because they were interacting with the toy.
The motion sensors are facing into the room. So when you walk into each room, you've got the bathroom on the right, and then around the bathroom are where the motion sensors are facing inside the room. So it's not like you have to be
in the room to get those lights to turn on.
And it's creepy because you could actually see one go on, then the next one go on, and then the next one go on. And then next thing you know, when you're thinking, oh my God, this could be something set automated. So, they think somebody's always in the building or something like that. But the next thing you know, it just all of a sudden starts randomly going on and off.
Right.
To the left, to the right, next thing, and it's just like you're looking at this and you're going, this doesn't make any logical sense, because when you think about it, you have to walk into each room in order to set those lights off. We counted the lights turn back off every 3 minutes, and it was happening all over the place. You look down this hallway, and it was like a light show. It was also the same level when we were in Cedar Crest. We were working with a film.
Now, where's Cedar Crest? Where's this?
It's in Newington, Connecticut.
Okay.
Yep. So how we got in there was a film crew needed to film a pilot for a movie that they were trying to sell to. I think it was for a Halloween film festival. And what ended up happening is that when they were done for the day, they basically said, "Hey, let security know when you leave." So we went up to the second floor because while they were filming, they would have a full set of batteries, 6 batteries. And by the end of the night, what they were doing is they would go up to the second floor, and they only had about 5 minutes to film, because every time they went up to the second floor, boom, batteries would die. Boom, batteries would die. So that's where we also were on the second floor, where we started seeing all these light shows from all the rooms going on and off.
The best part too was when one of the producers came running down the stairs, and I don't even think she touched the stairs because she actually saw the apparition of a doctor going down the hallway, and he had no legs. She
saw the white coat in the back of
He
the
had
head,
just a white coat, no legs, and he was just floating down the hallway.
Yeah, that's what happens when I'm drunk. But this just in, somebody sent us a picture of a swinger ghost. There he is.
Oh yeah.
This guy right here, his name is Jacques, and he's been the ghost at Studio 54 in New York, and he still sings "Staying Alive, Staying Alive, Staying Alive." So yeah, talk about creepy shit.
And he's rocking those gold chains too.
That looks like a dating profile photo.
Well, I was just kind of looking on your website, and I'm going, "Oh, I could use this." I almost want to say I'll be back in 2 and 2. So, now, Kimberly, how did you get involved with these crazy people?
Well, and Christine and I actually worked together.
Before that, she was stalking me at a restaurant.
You don't do that.
Oh my God, it is funny. My husband and I were we were at Chili's over in Lisbon, and Christine and Dan had come in from somewhere, and Christine was wearing her coat, Connecticut Paranormal Research Team, and I'm like, "Oh my God, Johnny, look, it's like someone." And so, we had left while they were still sitting there, and Johnny, was trying to convince me to say something to Christine and Dan, which we had no idea who they were. And it's like, no, let them eat. I don't believe in interrupting people when they're eating.
Meanwhile, I'm over there just shoveling food.
Like plasma.
So later on down the road, Christine and I actually ended up working together. My coworkers, because knowing that I was into the paranormal and, I had talked about it a bit, they had told me that she had actually had her own team. And so after I got to know Christine a bit, I started just asking her questions, because you never just want to kind of pounce on anything. Sure. You kind of want to build a little bit of a rapport.
Do a little pour, make a little love, get down tonight, a little bit of wine, a little romance, staying alive.
Yep. So we, after a bit, she had asked me to join her and Dan. None of the other team members were available, so they had asked me to join them on one investigation. I unfortunately had to turn that down because my daughter was getting ready to join pre-K. So we had a dinner that ended up being canceled. So I missed out on that one. But thankfully, she didn't give up. She asked me to do it again. I bruised her that night over my excitement. I'm a physical. When I get excited, I get physical. And then later on down the road, she ended up wearing that coat again. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh, you.
So basically, Christine, you ask anybody to join. And I mean, me too. I mean, it was like, hey, you want to come along? You want to come along? You want to come along?
I know. It's like I was thinking, it's like I messaged Christine. I was like, do you think Mike would want to join us? Oh, yeah. So it's like I messaged you like that morning, and then I didn't hear anything. So I started sweating a little bit. And then Christine messaged me back. She's like, yeah, I called Mike. He's in.
Yeah. And you're thinking, come on, Christine, ask him. You ask everybody. So.
But yeah, events like
Usually
this
public events we will open up to the public. But usually, like when we do our residential cases and stuff like that, only because we're going into people's homes.
Right, right.
So not knowing, because we would on pretty much every fall up until 2 years before, just before COVID hit, we would do a newbie night where people would apply to become members of the team, and we would have the whole team would get together and we would go over all the protocols and the guidelines of the team and then actually take them on an outdoor investigation to see how they interact with the team and can they work together as a team and follow all the rules. And I've had people lock themselves in my car when we got there. I've had to get restraining orders against some people because they just literally, because we do, every person that joins our team, we do a full criminal background check on, only because we are going into people's homes and, you know, we're in with their children and stuff like that. So we have to make sure we don't have any sex offenders on our site or, you know, anybody that's got a criminal background, because we're trying to keep our reputation.
Yep. And Kim's background came up flawless within hours.
I don't know how.
Individual had a rap sheet a mile long, and he just did not understand at the fact, because we even said, like, just because you're coming to newbie night does not make you a member of the team. There's, you know, we do a screening process and the background check and everything else, and I could not get rid of this guy. I had to get a restraining order.
What about non-violent misdemeanors?
Yeah.
Honey, I don't even have a speeding ticket, so
I had 2 speeding tickets.
I am as white bread as, can't even say that anymore. White bread, Jesus.
It's
People get offended.
crazy nowadays.
Well, we make sure that when we do residentials, and we make sure that our team members are of good character and hold up a strong reputation, and that's why our team is sought out over many. We're not saying that we're the best by any means or anything like that, and we're not. But you know, we take that extra precaution, that extra step to make sure that not only do you feel comfortable reaching out to us, but you feel comfortable allowing us to come into your home.
We were actually one of the first 12 teams in the state of Connecticut when we got started in 2000.
Now, what is it? It's just like sexy to have a
200 teams a week pop up on the internet now.
Screw them. Anyway, here's a question up on the board. Where is some place that is on your paranormal bucket list?
Waverly Hills.
Alcatraz.
Oh yeah, Alcatraz too.
Ooh, Alcatraz. Wow.
I would love to go to Alcatraz.
So what's Waverly Hills?
Waverly Hills is a lunatic asylum psychiatric hospital in Kentucky that has had, I want to say, over 50,000 deaths that have made it through the tunnels underground. They actually call it the death tunnel. And it is open to the public. It is closed, but they do the teams can rent it
for paranormal investigation.
What is the place called again?
It's called Waverly Hills. It is one of the top known haunted locations in the United States.
You can see Mike's got that Google eye.
Yeah, the place is just amazing.
In Louisville.
And they just recently, the people that took it over, because they were trying to renovate the place to fix it up the best they can off of the teams that are renting it. And you can actually sleep there now.
I mean, it's not the Ritz, and it's definitely not a bed and breakfast.
No, because there's no power.
But you get a cot, from what I understand. Don't quote me on that one. I haven't been on their website in a while.
That's kind of creepy.
Did you find a picture of it?
Nothing that'll let me move up. I can't do anything. They're all
I think they have a Facebook page too. Waverly Hills Asylum.
Well, I hit one of my bucket lists was it last year? Yeah, with Rolling Hills. But I want to I want to go global. I want to kind of investigate locations overseas in Europe. Really anywhere that it's not like 112 degrees and I'm uncomfortable the whole time. You know? And specifically somewhere where it's not like -2 while we're trying to investigate and we're holding the cameras and holding the thing while shivering.
So there's Waverly Hills right there.
Yeah, you gotta find one of the pictures of the actual building, like the
Well,
buildings.
that's a picture of the actual building.
No, but I mean that's like like part of the inside. The place is enormous.
Yeah. I tried to. Let's see. I think I have one now.
Catacombs in France.
Yeah,
yes,
that
exactly.
would be awesome.
I think I found one here that I can put up here.
Yeah, it's kind of shaped almost. It's almost like a horseshoe, kind of, but just a stretched out horseshoe. It's like a big half C, I guess.
Let's see. Here it is.
That's the place.
Waverly Hills.
That is
Louisville, Kentucky.
That's going to be my next place before I die. I will be making it back out to Kentucky.
What is it? Basically, just it's a hotel now that you can.
Oh no, it's not a hotel. See how it's got no windows and stuff? That's your room.
Well, it's an interior room.
Yeah.
I imagine.
No, you actually, you stay where the patients stayed.
Looks like my old high school. That's awesome.
But yeah, there's they have the death tunnels underground where they would store all the bodies.
Alicia wants in.
But yeah, that's one place. We went to Rolling Hills last year.
Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum would be nice in Virginia.
So what's stopping you from doing them?
Money.
Jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My previous employer, she was actually phenomenal because at the time, I was actually into filming for movies and stuff like that. So I would just go to her and say, "Hey, I'm filming in a movie this coming weekend on the other side of the state," and she'd be like, "Go." So I would just get in the car and go.
Yeah, the one thing about these locations, every location that we can go to and we can rent out, they do cost. These are people's lives. The people, just like you own a house, these people own these locations. They need to have upkeep. They need to be able to make them safe to continue allowing people in and allowing people to not only investigate, but also to save the history of these places. So it does cost in some situations a substantial amount to go in and investigate. However, if you do have a group of people, it makes it obviously cheaper for everybody. You split the cost, and that's where you go in and you have a good time. The one thing about these locations, when you rent them out, all right, yes, you could put on an event. Yes, you can put on a broadcast. The one thing that we always make sure we do is that we always surround ourselves with great positive people. People that not only want to make sure that we professionally investigate the location, but also have fun with it. Kind of the reason why me and you jived so well during the broadcast.
Yeah.
We make sure that not only do we take the investigation seriously, but we also make sure that we also have a good time and really get to experience the location for what it is.
So what's next? What's the next investigation for you guys?
So I don't think we got a few.
I've got a few residentials in the books because we're actually
we're coming out of post-COVID right now. I know.
So we're starting to open up, and we are actually screening clients right now for a haunting on the Travel Channel. So it's kind of like trying to match the haunting to something that's scary enough to be on the show that we can release it to them. But we're going on the 22nd. We have a meeting with the USS Salem with the directors so that we can finalize for the convention for next year, the paranormal convention that we're doing. And we're actually at that point hoping to book a live broadcast this year on the ship before it gets too hot, because you're in a steel can. And in the summertime, it's going to be very hot in that ship. So we want to kind of time it right so that we're not cooking ourselves like sardines.
Or freezing.
Or freezing in the winter.
I'm not up for freezing.
Yeah, there's no in between and those type of things.
Right. And I do want to get back to the James house and do another live broadcast from the James house to see if
that one was fun.
If we can actually reenact the skeleton apparition that we got with the SLS in the basement.
Now, the James house is where?
That's in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. It's actually a historic museum, but there's no electricity and there's no water. There's no bathrooms. There's nothing.
Yes. So I had to pull 100 feet with an extension cord so that we had power. And then we broadcasted off a cell phone.
So there's no bathroom.
Yeah, we had.
There's
we
an
actually,
outhouse.
The last time we were there was no outhouse.
Nope, we had to go to the
we went to the gas station.
So you're saying there's no bathroom?
No.
You got to hold it. Be professional, Mike. You hold it.
Well, for men, it's a little bit easier. You know, you got the woods.
Yeah.
I
However,
prefer to have a nice, clean place.
Well, you know, they say
when we were there, I was freaked out with whatever was in those woods.
well, they say does a bear shit in the woods? Oh, one more thing about Captain Grant said I wanted to talk about. You know what really wigged me out about the cemetery? Not so much that we may see a ghost or an apparition or hear things. I didn't know if there were going to be a bear coming up the hill and attacking us.
Yeah, and she did say 2 weeks prior to us going there was a black bear that was out in that cemetery.
Can't say black.
Oh, that's right. It was a dark bear.
There you go. There you go.
We've had things come, you know, we've experienced possibilities of animals. We've been out doing investigations out in Patchogue Forest.
Oh, yeah, that one.
So there was one night where we had a group of us together, and
Coyotes.
I honestly think that we were being surrounded by something at one
This is
point.
like Blair Witch Night or something, or
well, when you flash a light and you see a pair of eyes looking back at you.
It wasn't just a pair.
No, they were
in the middle of the forest, and
they were
that
like,
happens at 3 a.m. every morning in my house.
Yeah. And of course, you know, we're like 45 minutes from our vehicle out in the woods investigating an old it's actually an abandoned town that's just out in the middle of the woods.
Yep.
With a full
Voluntown.
cemetery, the whole 9 yards.
In Voluntown?
It's actually I want to say it's right on the Rhode Island line.
By the time you go off-roading to get there, you're on the Rhode Island line.
Okay. So, Kimberly, what's next for you? I mean, where do you want to go?
Where do I want? Well, I would love to go to Alcatraz, but time-wise, financially-wise, something a little bit closer. I know we were talking about St. Albans at one point. So, I mean, we have a few things up in the air that we're wanting to do. Like there's Rose Island Lighthouse that Christine's been telling me about.
I love lighthouses.
Oh, I do too. So, and I know that they've done a lot of renovations out there. So I'm hoping that we can get a whole group of us to go out there at some point. I mean, you can't get any better, you know, renting out a whole island, having it all to yourself to investigate.
Right.
Let me tell you this. Well, I went up to the actual light and then went around the banister.
Oh, I was scared.
Everything like that. She wouldn't come up. She wouldn't
I was
even come out of the hatch.
It was so windy, and I'm petrified of heights.
Yeah, and it was windy, and everybody is like down there looking at you. Now, it's not too high, but when you're on this like
side, it's high.
Yeah, when you're on this like small metal platform around this light, and it's going, and all you see down there is like kind of a cliff and water splashing. It's slightly terrifying. It kind of makes you feel like you're just kind of sliding off the edge.
Especially when the light spins around and actually blinds you in the eye, so you're up there like a little mosquito.
But is there a bathroom?
Yes. And not only do you have to, when you use the bathroom, it actually uses the water from the ocean. So you actually have to pump it 3 times and then flush.
Yes.
All you're going to hear from the bathroom with Mike's in is woo!
And you guys are downstairs going, he's pooping again.
Yeah. I know Laura actually asked about activity on the East Coast due to the history. There actually is quite a bit, especially at the old battlefields like Fort Witherell. Oh, that's Rhode Island.
That's Rhode Island, yeah.
Yeah. And then
obviously you got Gettysburg.
Fort Griswold, right here in Groton, is very active. And all of the a lot of the houses that we residential wise were all the old sea captains' houses along the water. We found that we're very active because it's, you're near water, plus of all the ledge, limestone and stuff in the area, and a lot of houses sit on courts.
And you also got to think, just alone leaving out all that, you have all the history.
Yeah, the Indian, a lot of the Indian grounds.
You got the Indian grounds, and then on top of that, you have the history of everybody coming on over and all that and everything. So the population was cycled around the eastern side and then funneled out to the west. So you've got all those years of history on this side and most amount of people. It only makes it logical that when everybody started to travel to the west, everything like that, this is kind of like they said, this is the melting pot. This is where everybody came and it kind of funneled out.
Got it. Any parting words or anything that you wanna mention about or promo anything or
Definitely check out the USS Salem. If you go onto Facebook, if you look up Para Expo 2022 on board the USS Salem, that is the event that CTPRT, along with Spirit Chasers of New Hampshire, we're actually putting on a Para Expo next May. So you definitely want to go onto that Facebook page, check it out, so that way you can keep up with the updates and all that.
Yeah, we haven't listed any of the speakers as of yet, but we will have actual speakers talking about, like actual demonologists. We'll have UFO experts, Bigfoot experts, different paranormal teams. We're trying to line up an actual few para celebrities.
We're going to also be there's going to be a public readings
spiritual readings.
Yep. And it's going to be
lots of vendors.
Yeah, we're going to have lots of vendors. And like I said, it's going to be inside the ship. So not only will you be able to experience the expo, but you'll also be able to go into the historic museum that's on the ship. And along that, you'll also be able to interact with. I say possibly only because we're trying to confirm who's gonna be available. But you'll also be able to possibly talk to and listen to the stories from actual people that were posted on that ship when it was in service.
So the USS Salem is actually in Quincy, Mass. So it's really not that far of a drive, and they have an onboard museum as well. So even if you just want to go check it out prior to the expo, go for it. And the Para Expo, 100% of the proceeds are going to that ship to maintain it, to pay for the upkeep and everything else. Yeah. So it's to benefit the ship itself. We're not making any money off of it. We're putting it 100% towards the ship.
It's actually going to be 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, May 21st, 2022, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then on Saturday night, it's going to be $20 a person to get in on Saturday and Sunday to go through the expo, watch the speakers each day. And then there will be an extra fee
for a nighttime investigation
on Saturday.
Limited number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is, I just came across something, and I don't know if this has hit your radar, or I don't think that we've talked about this. But this is just one other thing that I just kind of saw. Paracon. Are you familiar with that event?
Are you talking the one in July?
July 24th, yeah.
Yes. That one is actually taking place at the
Sansonia.
Sansonia in the Armory.
Yeah.
The actual Armory. I don't remember the exact times. They sent us the details. They've actually asked us to be guest speakers at that event. We just have to finalize everything with them. So hopefully we'll be there for that event as well.
So we do have a lot going on. And luckily, we got it up about 2-3 weeks ago, and we got our new website up. It's got a lot of our information. It's got, my dating profile that's on that, I guess. But it has a lot of our information. It's got a lot of our evidence, audio, visual, photos, video. It's got a lot of our information. Not only that, you can also contact us for investigations. You can contact us regarding our broadcast services as well. And along with that, we do have our way of contacting us just for questions. So if you want, you can just at ConnecticutParanormal.com. You can also find us on Facebook with Connecticut Paranormal Research Team. And we are also on Twitch with CTPRT Live.
Okay, well, the questions seem to come in right when we're going to say goodbye.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she was talking, if that's the property that she's talking about on Blood Road.
I don't know. Linda, do you want to answer that question?
And in the meantime, while we're waiting for Linda, you can also catch us on SNSN Radio.
Once in a while, yeah. Once in a while. But my dating picture is not up on your website. And I'm
okay. Not yet. No, not yet.
Oh, no, you got to do the glamour shot.
Oh, yeah.
All the faces. The hands of the face. Or just Vogue.
Yes. Yes, Linda, that actually is the Blood family property. It's interesting because it's they actually named the road Blood Road, and the family, their last name was Blood. And the house is actually there. It's abandoned and whatnot. But it was the young child, if I remember correctly, he was, I think, 6 or 7 years old. He actually murdered his entire family in the house. And ever since then, the place has been sitting vacant, rotting into the ground. So, yeah, I'm very familiar with it.
All right. Hey, guys, thank you very much for coming on tonight.
No problem.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
It's opening. You still have your ghost friend at your house?
Hasn't made any kind of
I've been watching the shadow in your door opening and closing.
That's the wind. That's the wind, because I'm actually in a sunroom, and I don't know why, but Melissa opens every window in here, and I'm fucking cold. Freezing in here.
She's got 3 blankets on, and I'm like,
oh my God. And she likes it warm, which is the way she goes, like, he's not coming to bed. I'll piss him off. I'm gonna open up all the damn windows. That's basically what's going on here. Yeah, suffer up there, suckwad. You know what I mean? So here I am. Talking paranormal. You know? My feet are frozen.
You gotta get some good woolies.
Oh my God, we gotta get
woolly socks. You gotta get some good woolies.
I was like, what? I didn't know if I should light up a cigarette. Oh, that'd be Woody's. Oh,
I gotta remember who I'm talking to.
No, we're just glad that you were able to join us. It was an absolute blast. And of course, it was really nice to have a co-host for once when we were doing a broadcast, because
it's easier, isn't it?
Yeah, I realized how, like, how straight stale I was during every broadcast prior. And the next thing I know, I
Yeah.
got you beside me. I'm like, this is great. It's the entertainment that we were missing in between the actual investigation. So
It was just fun. I mean, I tried to drop some comedy in there. You're like, Joe Business, and and I'm
bad cop.
So I got a question. But I get this is really it. Maybe. Do you want to do Paracon together?
Ooh.
And we'll do interviews and we'll stream it. And it'll be coast to coast.
We're gonna have to talk about that. We're gonna have to get it together. I know that we talked about it for the USS Salem. So we're definitely gonna have to sit down and chat, because I know that with I just know that we're all gonna have a fun time whatever we do, whether it be joking around, whether it be doing interviews, doing broadcasts. I just want to get together with you again. I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too, man. We'll get together. Well, that's why
it's away.
it's one of the things they put in the things. Why don't we get together and just hang out? So
yeah, he has a space heater now on his deck. So
nice.
Yeah, now we can party long until the New England winter.
Yep. I just picked it up used. So a friend of mine had it less than a year, and she sold it to me.
So we'll keep you.
There's no joke there. I just
We'll keep you informed with a date that we book for the James House and the USS Salem to do a live broadcast from.
cool.
Because I'm hoping to get it in before it gets too hot.
And of course, anything in between.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'd be very interested, and it's a lot of fun. It's good hanging out with you guys. So
Yeah,
Awesome.
it
obviously,
really is a good time.
everybody that's watching now, including anybody that watched during the broadcast, everybody was really hooked on it and loving it. So, the more we can do this, and the more we can show people what investigating and paranormal is about. The reality of it, let's just say, because honestly, sometimes nothing happens. We could sit there for 2-3 hours, not one thing will happen.
But we always have a good time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the kicker.
You know what the element I thought was really cool was by the way, Daniel, you have some competition. So miss you too, Kurt. Is that just how we bounced off one another? Like good cop, bad cop kind of thing, straight man, funny guy, or whatever. It worked well, and I thought it added a different dimension. And honestly, if you look at all the other shows that are out there,
Yep.
they don't have that dimension.
No.
Nope, and that's what we all walked away with, and that was one little thing. That's when we're like, I turned to Christine and everybody, and I said, that's what we were missing.
Yeah. Well, let's rock and roll.
Let's.
All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All
Definitely.
right. Take care.
Take care, Mike.
Thanks. See you,
Thank you
Stock.
for having us.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for coming on. Have a great night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.